This is We Burlesque.
Hi, I'm Dinah Dare.
Hi, this is Ivy Fairy.
Hi, this is Mika Romantic.
Hi, I'm Bunny Wigglebottom, and you're listening to We Burlesque Season 9.
Get right into it.
Thanks.
This is We Burlesque, the podcast, and I'm your host, Victor Devon, and through the miracle of fiber optics, I get to talk to nightlife individuals in the field of burlesque, drag, and cabaret, and today is no exception. I have the sweet Siren. Hello, hello.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are things in the possibly sweltering heat this summer of
Oh,
Las
it is.
Vegas?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's nothing more fun than getting fully dressed up, all in your drag, and then walking outside and just instantly melting. Like,
Unpleasant.
oh my God, like your feathers are literally drooping. It's super fun. It's a great time. It's a great time to be a performer in 100-degree weather.
Where do you originally hail from?
So I was born in New York.
Okay.
I am a New Yorker through and through. I left when I was quite young, but I was raised a New Yorker. I go back constantly, like that's my identity. I'm definitely a New Yorker no matter where I am.
Is this New York City?
No, so I'm from Long Island, but
Okay.
yeah, but my parents are from the city. And yeah, so I was just raised with that, attitude, that mindset, and I go back as much as possible, especially as an adult. I go back 2 to 3 times a year. Last year, I think I performed in 7 shows there too. So that's been really nice to like go back and get to do what I do professionally. Oh no, that's only 7 burlesque shows. I've also done just singing shows there as
Hmm.
well in past years. So yeah, so I'm from New York. Then I moved to the Midwest for a little bit. That was not it. And so then we moved down to Orlando, and I did mostly grow up in Orlando before I moved out to Vegas. So I've kind of been everywhere.
Where did you start singing?
Oh gosh, I started singing in the Midwest in St. Louis. I was 5 when I got into the St. Louis Children's Choir, which was an audition choir as well. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I don't remember it, but I guess I had to audition at 5. So, yeah, I've been doing this for a minute.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, you have to usually apply and prove yourself in your like conservatory or if you're in even an instructional situation.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
So,
I'm sure it was just like, can you hit notes? Are you
are are you going to waste our time,
right? Exactly.
basically? Yeah.
Exactly. So I started singing then, but I had already started dancing in New York when I was like 2. Like dancing was the first thing I ever did.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so
what type?
it kind of went dancing, singing, acting. Um, but then it all kind of flipped around because I am a better singer than I am a dancer. I'm a better singer than I'm an actor and dancer. So I'd say singer, actor, dancer. But it's not even because of lack of like talent. It's just because I had to kind of stop because I was doing ballet and stuff, and then I grew boobs. So
Yeah, that's like a balance issue,
yeah.
right?
Well, and
Yeah.
I also like I couldn't turn out all the way, and we went to the doctor and said, "Hey, what can we do?" And he was like, "You would literally need to break your hips. You just don't. You're just not built for. You know what I mean? Your body."
Hmm.
And so I definitely stopped before I got like a really good base of like the essentials, spins and jumps and stuff like that. Because I just said, okay, well, fuck it. And I just went into hip hop. So I was like, nope, this is the place for me. But yeah, so I've been dancing the longest. But singing is my greatest strength, and then acting. But honestly, I love dancing the most. It makes me, I think, the happiest. And
Hmm.
I'm kind of glad it wasn't my main career. Like I didn't become a ballerina like I wanted to, um, because I think I would be in even more pain than I am now, and I probably wouldn't love it as much as I do because I get to do it for fun still, you know.
Sure, sure. It's hard to commodify passions. There really is. It's hard to say, oh, this is something I really enjoy doing, this is something I love, and then saying, okay, now how do I make money off of it? How do I make other people care?
Yeah, and
Welcome
I
to burlesque.
welcome. Yeah, exactly. We all do, right? Like we've commodified, and I've actually kind of found that to be an issue lately because I will meet someone and they'll be like, "Well, what are your hobbies?" And I'm like, what hobby do I have that hasn't been monetized? I love dancing. I love singing. I love, crafty stuff. And so I'm rhinestoning and I'm like, okay, but
Mm,
these are all things I do for pay. And I,
mm.
I read, I love reading. And that's about the only one I could think of that I don't get paid to do. And I'm sure, I'm sure
How do we, okay, so how do we do that for you? How do we get you paid for reading?
with my millennial brain, I would figure it out. I'd be like, all right, how can
Yeah.
I monetize?
I guess if you were an editor or if you were a professional reviewer, somebody's got to do that, right?
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I would, but I have to stop. I have to stop monetizing my hobbies and just go back to having maybe one that I just sit around and do for funsies. Um, because gosh, I don't do anything. Like, like I said, I like rhinestoning, and everything, but I'm not doing that just for like shits and giggles. I'm doing it because
No.
oh shit, I need this costume done. So it's not a fun, relaxing process.
Do you find it zen though? Do you find it sort of slows you down and gets you?
I I like it does feel that way, and because it is so repetitive and I do it since I have OCD, I do it in a very super slow way. Like, most people will do like a line of, glue or like cover and then, they pick up the stones with the thing and just go beep, 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 beep.
The
I can't,
wax, yeah.
yeah, I can't do that because it makes me crazy if I see any glue on the costume. So I put a dab of glue and then I pick up the rhinestone with tweezers and I put it on there. So teeny tweezers.
Yeah.
So it does take forever and it is quite zen with the repetitiveness and everything. But if you asked my mom who hears me rhinestoning, she'd be like, "Are you having fun?" Because I'm just like, "Fuck, son of a, where did, don't get over here, you bastard." I don't know. It's a half and half, I think.
That can be fun. Some things that we enjoy stress us the fuck out.
Amen.
So,
Amen. That is true. Yeah.
yeah. In terms of your singing, I have to admit I don't know a lot of the technical stuff, although I've spoken to a number of singers on the pod before. What for people who will listen to this and will know what you're talking about, what type of singer are you?
Okay, so that it's changed a little bit. Uh,
Mm,
I I studied classical folk and show tunes my whole like childhood. So starting around 12. No, before 12, it's a whole thing. I got vocal cord nodes at 12, which
mm,
is almost unheard of because the training I had been doing and everything else I'd been doing, the performing, really took a toll on my voice. And I didn't have a very good teacher to keep that from happening.
mhm,
So I got vocal cord nodes at 12. I
mm.
literally went to theater camp that summer and was silent almost the whole thing. So that was fun and creative. We did like I did a sketch where we mimed everything and I did a lot of dance. So I got around it because they were pretty much like either shut your mouth for 3 months or you need surgery. And I was like, absolutely not. So anyway, so at 12, I started classical training and everything. At the time, I was probably close to a coloratura soprano, which is a super high soprano.
Can you give
Um,
me a person that would fall into that? Is Maria Callas a coloratura?
is she a coloratura? I don't know. Did she get that high? I don't think
Who
so.
who would be a good example of that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, they try to pass off Christine Daae from Phantom as a coloratura.
Okay,
So that's kind of what with her like high note at the end of Phantom, that would be like
sure.
the,
Sarah
or
Brightman.
yeah, yes, Sarah Brightman, or if you've heard like Queen of the Night, that kind of highness. So I was up there for sure. Um, and then as I got older, as your voice develops, as a woman, your voice really doesn't even start like hitting it until your late 20s
Hmm.
and mid 30s. So it just kept changing. And now I could do that if I trained a little bit. It doesn't really benefit me at the moment, so I don't, like before COVID, I was gonna start working on my whistle tones, which is what Ariana Grande does and Mariah.
Sure. Mariah Carey. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna start that. So but then I took a break and I my voice has definitely lowered. So now I can still do soprano stuff, but not the super, super high stuff. And I also, I mean, as you can hear from my speaking voice, I also can sing alto, maybe even baritone some days.
Right. Is that considered octaves?
Sort of. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I've like tested it and I think I have about a 3.5 to 4 octave range on my best day, on my best day. So yeah, so I honestly I'm very, very lucky. I've had other people say like, how can you do both? That's cool. And it is very cool and I'm incredibly lucky. So I do lean into the lower belt and stuff for my burlesque just because it makes sense, the style makes sense.
Sure, a lot of jazz and cabaret songs are going to be probably soprano, but a lot of alto friendly,
Yeah, very alto friendly. And of course show tunes are
right?
it's honestly hard because I don't belt like Whitney Houston. I don't,
Sure.
you know what I mean? I don't have that high a belt. And so it is kind of difficult to find stuff that sits right in my range because if it's too high, we start going into my head voice. And if it's, uh too well, there isn't really any too low anymore. I sing pretty low. Um, but I find myself performing a lot of Miley Cyrus. That's my girl.
Hmm.
We have very similar ranges. I can do some Adele. I do a lot of Lady Gaga.
Okay.
So yeah, the easy answer would be sort of soprano, alto belt, and then my middle range is, it's there more or less.
I would think, although I don't know really, that someone who was operatically singing is using a different technique than a pop star,
Y-
even if they have the same vocal quality or range. Would that be fair?
That would be fair. Yeah. I mean, we all have the same base things that we do, right?
Sure.
We all have to sing from our diaphragm, and we all want to get the sound going up through the top of our palate and stuff like that. But yes, you're going to be using different techniques and I mean sometimes you're going to be even using different muscles. um
Mm.
your chords are going to do, and also everyone's chords are different, right? They're just like any body part.
Mm.
So that is how you get different tones of voice. That's how you get people with different ranges because they may be shorter or longer, or someone's vibrato you may have more of a vibrato because your chords it's pretty much slapping together. They slap together faster than someone else's. Um, so we all have the same base, but yeah, there are things that we're all doing with our own voices that are different. I teach lessons sometimes, mostly to adults, and I I can tell people what to do, but I could not tell you why it's doing. You know what I mean? Like I know what's happening in my own voice and how to do it, and I can sort of tell you, but at the end of the day, even I'm like, I don't even know what's going on in there. Some
Hmm.
like, how did you hit that note, or how did you do that? And I'm like, I just did it. Like
Well,
it's
also there's no guarantee that it will, like, you could be like Florence Foster Jenkins and be able to go volume or go but stylistically, but not on pitch or not on key, not on
yeah,
consistency.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's just like everyone can sing, everyone can make noises, everyone,
sure.
but can you do it on in the
Right.
correct pitch, the correct key? Can you, decrescendo and crescendo and all that stuff? Um, but yeah, I don't think of myself as like a super technical singer because I kind of just go with the flow. But I do have many, many, many years of training that I'm sure if my vocal coach was listening, she'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I ingrained this shit in you for 10 years, but I digress. Whatever. We all
No, I mean
get a little.
it's something that I always wish that I had the capability of doing. I'm not a singer, and while I have sung on stage before, it has been uh, kind of for novelty purposes. It's not really been like it's been like a hosting shtick. It's not been like a number per
Mhm.
se. So, and I find that one of the reasons that I've never pursued it is that I don't have any consistency in how I will start. Like sudden I will begin, but I will be like I can practice it and then I will suddenly begin too high and I don't know how to go lower or I don't know the
Yeah.
technique.
No,
So
it's not. Hey, I will tell you right now, I have sung with bands my whole life. And you know what? Sometimes they will start playing and I will be like, I don't know what the fuck the key is. Like, I know it. I should know what it is, but I go to come in and I'm like, oh no,
yeah.
I, this is right. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's usually in the same key, but it's the wrong octave. And I'm like, why
Mhm.
here?
Well, then you also have, depending on the venue, because I know if like you see concert stars, or your stadium singers with like the mic, the earpiece,
Mhm.
or which, as I understand it, I've heard and I've seen some footage. They don't always hear themselves or the band. They hear clicks that indicate entirely different things, and that just seems like it would drive me fucking crazy. But depending on where you are, depending where how the monitors are or what have you, may not be even able to hear what you're supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah, I have seen so many like professionals yank those in-ears out, you know. So I don't, they must work a usual amount of time, but I feel like a lot of times I've just seen them yank them out of their ear
Yeah.
because crazy. But yeah, absolutely. If there's not a monitor, I can hear myself in my brain. But if I can't hear the music and myself at the right, volume, it is hard.
Mhm.
You think it isn't. The most difficult thing, and it's relatively quote unquote easy for me because I have also been doing this literally since I was 15. But the national anthem,
Mm.
um, is one of the hardest because you are in a stadium that echoes back to you and you don't have an in-ear because they're just like, here's your microphone. So you have to just trust yourself and be in your own head, because if you start to listen to that echo, oh man, it's over. And I'm sure it happens. That's why, I feel bad for people who fuck up the national anthem because they're going to get roasted. And I also know that it's not hard to do, because the conditions are not great. I mean,
You
shit,
mean it's not hard to fuck up? You mean?
it's not hard to fuck up.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think the you should know the words. That part, yeah. But with the rest of it, it's a hard environment, and you're outside, and you've got a ton of wind blowing in your face. Like there have been times where I open my mouth and I'm like, oh, a ton of dust just like went right in my throat, Um, but yeah, that could give you an idea of what it would be like to be in a stadium full of people, Taylor Swift style,
Hmm.
trying to hear the band while they're screaming and your own voice. I can imagine that's got to be insane, very
Sure.
difficult.
Well, when you're performing, are you performing largely to a track or to with a live band?
Lately, it's been tracks. Yeah, I did some jazz gigs last year, and I've done jazz gigs my whole life. So just like piano, bass, little drums. I had my own band. I've performed with a lot of bands, like full rock bands and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, when I'm performing burlesque, and I have a new fantastic residency twice a weekend where I'm just singing for 3 hours. That is all the tracks, and honestly, I love them. I feel like some maybe uppity singers think like, oh, they're just like, it's not very professional, or like, it's like karaoke. It's like, well, you you karaoke singers aren't singing like this, so it's not a problem. It's not the same thing. And it gives me so much like room to do whatever I want. It gives me room to take requests because someone can say, I want to hear this. And I just go beep, bop, boop into, the phone and I get the track and I can sing it right away. You don't have to
Mhm.
worry, oh, does the piano and the guitarist, do they all know it and whatever, if I know it, we can just do it. And of course, for burlesque, it's perfect because nothing ever changes.
Sure.
It's not live. It's going to be the same song, just like any song. It's going to be the same song every time. I know where all the hits are. I know all of that stuff. So yeah, tracks it is for me. And honestly, I really enjoy it.
Hey, this is Victor Devon. I know it's difficult to strategize how to spend money and where that money should be going, and I thank the folks who have found some way to support financially this podcast. Massive love to the people on patreon.com/weburlesque. Thank you very much to Courtney Jones, Dottie Ravel, Charlotte Strudel, Paris Stilton, Luna Delay, Goosey Gander, Roxy Reverie, Faye Havoc, Tiffany Lane, Madam E, iRed, Shimmy LaRue, Curly Bright, Oliver Swisky, Sebastian Crane, Alex Collode, Bo Bridges, and Stormageddon. Love you very, 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 very much. If you would like to support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/weburlesque, and I promise you those dollar bills go to servers, to advertising, to actual real costs, including WordPress, GoDaddy, and people who need my money. So thank you very, very much for help supporting the podcast, and thank you for amplifying the voices of those upon it. Love you very much. Well, we've gone through such a change in technology over the last 4 to 5 decades, in terms of track availability. Like I remember hearing, like you would hear like the Casio keyboard uh,
Yeah.
karaoke tracks,
Hmm.
and while sometimes that's still difficult because some songs aren't, hits per se, but they're not, there's no, I guess, demand for them. You can get a lot of stuff like with an orchestra and like real quick nowadays. Um, I guess then the difficulty would be making sure that it was the right key or that it had the right attributes for you, that it didn't have like the guide vocal or the guide, undertone or what have you. Sometimes some great instrumentals are fucked up by terrible chorus
Yeah.
reprise. Like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
but the technology is there that 9 times out of 10, I can fix all of that too. You know,
Mm,
I can
hmm
download a track, put it in GarageBand, and I can change the key. I can
hmm
change, or there's like a whole website I can go to and it customizes the track. You just go, oh, it's in G, bink, bink, drop it to, and it'll drop it for me. And then I can go, I don't really like the way that the symbol sounds. You can take out the symbol. You can take it.
Damn.
Yeah. So it is amazing and so helpful and wonderful. Sometimes the backup vocals will just, oh God, they'll be so bad. They'll be so bad. You're like, oh, this is a really good track. And then they'll be like, and you're like, oh, no,
Oh no.
oh
Oh no.
dear. So I've actually had to like record my own backup vocals sometimes,
Mm.
which is fine. It's fun. Like I sing shallow to a track and, comes to the chorus part and I'm like, oh, I'm singing with myself. This is cute. But yes,
What are some of what?
it's,
Yeah.
it's amazing. The availability is so fast, like just instant. The minute it's on TikTok and it's any kind of viral, you can find an instrumental. Maybe not the best instrumental, like that may take a few months or whatever, but almost instantly there's going to be at least one karaoke track to that popular song. And it's so helpful as someone who sings every single week and wants to like add stuff and make sure that I'm, you know, hitting all those pop songs that people want to hear.
Well, this 3 hour gig that you're talking, how many songs are you doing in that 3 hours?
Oh gosh. Um, that's a good question. Because my list, I always make sure that I have way more than I need. So my list of tracks is like 4.5 hours long. Um, so that I can just jump around and, obviously it's about the vibe too, like, oh,
Right.
I have a carefully curated list, right? So that if I went from A to Z, it would make sense. It would be like, okay, we start off a little chill and then we get a little this and then then we pop in some of this, so it makes sense. But 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. I'm going to end up jumping around because the audience will really like Sabrina Carpenter. So I go, okay, well, they loved that. Let me go to Taylor Swift, or they'll really love the Motown song I did. It's like, okay, let's do another 60 song. But God, amount, I don't know. That's math, babe. That's, songs are 3.5 minutes ish. How many of those can you fit in an hour? I'm supposed
You
to.
banter?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. I love to see people come in. I ask everyone where they're from, and that is the other day there was some people from Japan, and I adore Japan. I've been there 3 times. I got to perform some burlesque there last year. So that was cool. So we were like, talking on the mic about where they're from. And I told them my 3 Japanese words I know and everything. And then they came back the next night. And that's part of it too, is I think a lot of live performers may just like stand up there and just sing at people. You know what I mean? And just say like, okay, thank you. And then just keep going. And I'm like, no, man, like I want to know everyone in there. Like sometimes people will be kind of surprised that you're speaking to them. I think they're so used to seeing you on a screen that they're like, oh, that's a real human being. And I will say hello, and then they'll look at me with like a blank stare, and I'm like, yeah, I can see you, bud. We're right here. I can see
It's
you.
live.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So this one guy looked at me, and they're like, Zach, say hi. And he was like, oh, hi. So of course the rest of the night it was like Zach and friends. And I would have to ask Zach, like, hey, how's your food, Zach? And did you like that song, Zach? But so it's the bantering is a huge part of it. But yeah, I sing a ton of songs. I'm supposed to take a 15-minute break every hour, and I usually don't because I'm on a roll, and and everyone's in there, and I'm like, I don't want to sit down and lose the momentum. So I just push through it. But it's not. I'm not. I look. None of us are doing brain surgery. I get that, but it also is not easy. They actually had a really hard time. I'm the only person that performs there now because they had a super hard time finding someone else. And they just kept coming back to me and being like, okay, well, do you want to do these 2 nights? Because that's it, because to get that much music, I've been doing this for a really long time. I did a gig like this for about 10 years at another place in town. So to accumulate that much music for that long in that many genres, because I go from, 60s to pop to rock to Motown to whatever, everything. It's not easy. And, I'm not I don't give myself a whole lot of credit a lot because I've just been doing it for so long and I just do it. For me, it's like, okay, this is easy. I do it. And to have the outside kind of recognition that no, what you're doing is actually kind of unique and not everyone can do it. And I'm like, oh, well, that's okay. That's cool. That's nice to hear, because I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I just do it. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's a skill set, obviously, and it's something that requires conditioning and working. I was speaking to somebody recently about essentially stretching and making sure that your body is ready to go. And you don't just have to worry about your body, you have to worry about your head.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly, but like there's so many different variables in addition, and I've grown pretty accustomed to hearing the sound of my voice. I go back and forth on how much I like it. But being on the podcast, and I don't enjoy watching footage of myself. I don't enjoy listening necessarily either. Um, but there are people who also condition themselves by constantly also listening or watching footage of themselves to learn from themselves. Are you one of those people?
No,
Mm.
no, absolutely not. For 2 reasons. One, when I watch my burlesque performances, and I do, I force myself to do it, but I don't like it.
Mm.
I literally will watch a burlesque performance that I know went fine, I am holding my breath the whole time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like by the end of it, I feel like I just let out a huge breath. And I'm like, why were you so stressed? This already happened. You already did it. You can't change anything about it, but it's stressful. But when it comes to singing, just singing, absolutely not. And that is because I am so aware in the moment of every single thing that I do. If there is a wrong note, if there is a missed word, any of that, I know that it happened right when it happened. So there's no need for me to go back and rehash it because I can literally tell you, like, oh yeah, I was singing this song and I hit that note wrong and I missed this pause and whatever. So
Mm.
I mean, it's just a like an insane amount of self-awareness at all times when I'm singing. So there's nothing I'm gonna learn from that, and there's also nothing that anyone is gonna tell me that is going to be a surprise. You know, that any night, and no stranger or like friend is gonna be like, that one was kind of off. My mom will, but that's fine because she's my mom. And she's, it's constructive criticism. She's trying to help. But 9 times out of 10, she's not going to be like, oh, that one was a little off. And I'm going to go, oh, was it? No, yes, of course I know. Like, yes.
What are you talking about? How dare you? Yeah. Yeah.
So no,
Are
I'm
you,
a fan of watching stuff back.
is there a character behind the Sweet Siren? Is
So
there lore?
this is really interesting. When I started singing as myself, this is pre Sweet Siren, I had to figure out who I was on stage as myself because I had been doing musical theater my whole life since I was 8 years old. So all I knew was getting on stage and playing a character, being a different person, being whatever.
Mhm.
So when I finally had to get on stage as me and banter and whatever, it was like, oh shit, who am I? And that took a minute. And that was actually when I moved to Vegas. That was the first time I really started doing that, performing live as myself. So once I got into that, once I got comfortable, which pretty much I'm just me with like a little bit of the volume turned up. Because I'm kind of an introvert. I would rather be sitting at home with my dogs and my book. um, but I am an extroverted introvert that when I'm in public, I am going to be like, you know, vivacious and charming and all that stuff. So when I had my public Casey persona on stage, once I got that, that's really honestly, that's really who the Sweet Siren is. It's really me. I don't I don't have to turn into someone else. Not that I'm saying that's bad. I love when people have a full character and they're like, this is the whoever, and they are ditzy and goofy, or they are whoever. But I am so many of those things already that I don't feel like I have to put it on. It's like, well, in this number I'm goofy me, and in this number I'm sexy me, and this whatever. But yeah, it's always me. The Sweet Siren is just me with a little bit more energy and and a little bit more desire to be seen. But no, yeah, she's just me. I am her. And the only time I put on a character really is if I'm completely dressed up as someone else. You know what I mean? Like I do a sexy Bernie Sanders. So
Mm,
so obviously
naturally.
it's
Naturally.
yeah, of course, who doesn't, right? So it's sexy Sweet Siren Sanders, or when I do drag, I'm a drag king. So when I'm Don Cockwood, but honestly, like Don Cockwood is kind of just one of my family members. Like it's kind of
Mm,
as my dad or my uncle. So it is a bit of a character, but also I'm like, oh, I get to be the tomboy I was as a kid. Like I get to sit with my legs spread and just kind of not worry about the femininity of it at all. So even that is still an essence of me, right?
sure.
Uh, yeah, but no, Sweet Siren's just me. She's just Casey.
When did the drag element enter?
So that started right before the pandemic. A friend of mine, Mr. Big Store, he had seen me sing one of my pretty like common acts, which is doing "You and I" by Lady Gaga. And I do it very like I wear a leather jacket, I rip off an undershirt. So it's, it's already a little rock and roll and it's not sparkly and stuff. And he saw me do it and he said, "We're doing an all male show." He said, "Would you do that in drag as her alter ego that she did on the MTV Awards?"
Joe Calderone.
Joe Calderone. And I said, fuck yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's go. Like if Gaga did it, I'm down. Let's do it. So I did that show and like as Joe Calderone. And I loved it. It was so fun. And as we've spoken about, I already sing a lot of male songs. I have I have a relatively deep voice. And so that was the first time I did it. It would be a few years before I did it again. And I know when I was on the podcast like a month or two ago, I had mentioned
Yes, you are on the We View. Thank you
the,
for being part of the panel. Yes.
so much for having me. I did mention that I'd only done drag about 5 or 6 times since then. And now I've done it a few more times. I've gotten some more opportunities in the past month. So
Nice.
that's been fantastic because I could kind of reach out and start stretching the boundaries and adding different songs in. But yeah, so that's when it started. It was thanks to my friend, and yeah, I just really enjoy it. I love doing the makeup, and like I said, I love being the little tomboy, and hitting on women. I love driving to work in my getup because I'm thinking like, oh right, I look like a fucking man right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I want people to look in the window so I can like wink at them or something, like I love it. I want to like fully embody it. But yeah, so Joe Calderone morphed into Don Cockwood, which is my drag king persona. I'm a huge Singing in the Rain fan. Um, so Gene Kelly's name in that is Don Lockwood, and I said
Mm-hmm.
Cockwood. Boom, done.
Drag. That's drag, man.
That's drag, baby. Yeah.
When you are performing as Dawn, do you sing as well? Or is singing almost always when you're stripping?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an
You're a
almost.
straight singing stripper.
I'm a singing stripper. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and for Dawn it's cool because there aren't a lot of live singing drag kings or queens. So, there aren't a lot of them,
No,
obviously.
it's true. You're right. You're right.
Obviously it happens. For
But
sure.
very infrequently on a regular basis, especially on a I think the ones that we'd know from TV. Like we'd know from like Drag Race or from like larger form, like at the Carlisle, like that kind of thing.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I do that because I know that it is unique.
Hmm.
And it makes me more hireable. But
Yeah.
yes, I almost always sing and strip, but I do have a handful of acts where I don't because I again I'm always a dancer first. So I do like to just dance sometimes. And my my sissy, the lovely and amazingly talented Harlot Oscara, she is always quick to mention to people, which is so kind of her. She'll be like, she can dance, right? Like you, like she can dance really well, and it's just so sweet because, of course, I don't. When I'm singing, I'm not dancing as much because I will pass out. I have asthma, so I can only do so much while
You
singing.
move, but you don't necessarily
Right,
hoof.
and the only quote unquote all out is if I sing first in the number and then like just dance for the rest of it.
Gotcha.
Because yeah, I will. This girl's lungs will not like that. But I do really enjoy dancing, and I do like pulling it out sometimes to just be like, I can also do this. Ta-da! That's the sexy birdie number. That's just dancing, and but yeah, I mostly sing, and it's I mean it's my specialty, and I know it makes me unique, which is also fun, and it it's hard for me. The only time I dance to music is if it's something I either can't sing or I wouldn't enjoy singing. So when
Sure.
because if there's a song that I really like and I can sing it, it would be hard for me to just dance to it because I'd be like, I want to sing it.
Well, it's similar to a lot of times there's an internal debate in burlesque about lip syncing, about whether or not one should take on the lyrics so literally. And my rule personally is well, are who are you? Which character are you? Because if you're lip syncing and the song is about you, why are you lip syncing?
Right.
You're the character. You're Dirty Diana. Why are you singing about Dirty Diana? Like that kind of thing. But if you're the character who's singing and the audience is that person, then sure, by all means, as long as it makes sense for you. I don't really get into worrying necessarily about quote unquote believing the vocal. It's not a hard and fast for me. Like if I hear like a man vocal from a lady or what have you, whatever a male vocal is, I'm an Elaine Stritch and B. Arthur fan. I'm used to masculine voices coming out of faces if I need to. And a lot of voices that I really gravitate to are distinctive voices. I like my favorite singer, my favorite entertainer as a child into now is Madonna, and she's not a strong vocalist.
Mhm.
She never has been. And I think when she leans into that, I think it actually is the more effective. Um, Avita notwithstanding, I know she did a lot of vocal training, but I buy her as that because she's playing a historical figure. In Dick Tracy,
Yeah.
she's working at the club Ritz. I don't think she should be Barbara Streisand. Like although Barbara Streisand obviously has a cabaret background too. But you'll notice she doesn't sing quite the same stuff when she was at what the Bonsoir, as opposed to Carnegie Hall. It's a different style even then.
I just,
Um,
I literally just did every so often I'll pull out sooner or later from Dick,
mm,
which is a fucking gorgeous song.
yeah, Sondheim.
It's Sondheim, exactly. It won an Oscar.
Hmm.
But yes, I sang it the other night, and as we were driving home, I said to my dad, I was like, "This is the best Madonna's ever sounded," and but she is still doing a character, right?
Hmm.
And the other songs on that album, she's very much like, cry baby boy, putting on the.
I love that you know Crybaby. I love it. I love
I
it.
do. I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
album. But no, you're right. It's and the lip syncing thing is so interesting because to me, I see lip syncing and I automatically think drag, right? And
Sure.
and which I have no problem with. I think it
Hmm.
shows that like burlesque and drag are just they're not even brother and sister. They're twins. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm.
there's so much of like the the little dancer in the back of my brain who was trained, their whole childhood is like, don't lip sync to the song because that's I don't know if everyone's like that, but like our teachers ingrained that into us. Like when you are dancing,
Oh, sure.
do not mouth the words,
I can
Um,
see that.
and I think that's probably a lot for kids. We probably as children have the, want to do that. But yeah, that was very much like a thing, like don't mouth the words. So in the back of my mind, someone starts doing that, and I'm like, trauma. But I don't have a problem with it. But there's a little kid back there going, oh God, someone's gonna yell at us. um, but yeah, I love a distinctive voice. And I mean that's also fun too, to change it up. And that's when, there's like a character voice. I'm still me, but I'm still like changing the tone or whatever,
Well, I think you get the best friend often gets a great number in the show as
oh,
well.
yes.
And sometimes, I mean, I was talking to so my sister's a trained singer, one of my sisters. And so she and I were talking about like distinctive voices in musical theater and like, like the 30s and 40s and how there's a different expectation in our stars to sound a certain. I don't know if Carol Channing, frankly, would get the jobs that she would deserve
Mhm.
in today's marketplace because they're looking for a Cynthia Erivo, which is fair. And Cynthia Erivo knows how she's a fucking genius. Um, and yet you have obviously you have actors and actresses who have like you have your Shoshana Beans or you have your Morgan James where they have like a rock star power behind they they're still showgirls. They're still ingenues more often than not. And depending on and I know like Jesus Christ Superstar and Rent and a lot of the rock musical, Godspell and all of that, they allow for a huskier or a more saturated voice. But I think we still expect our ingenues, our divas, to have, that sort of Sarah Brightman, Bernadette sort of vibe. And that's not a pop star. That's not quite the same thing. But we love casting them in things. We love casting our pop stars in the shows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up uh doing, I was like, okay, we're gonna be Sarah Brightman, we're gonna do Bernadette, we're gonna do all that stuff. And then unfortunately, my voice, we'll get to that point eventually, maybe, where my voice and what's popular are going to are going
Merch.
to connect. But as I'm younger and I'm growing up, the there's a tendency towards big screaming belts, big
Yeah.
scroll, and moving away from soprano leads. And I'm like, fuck, no one's doing, at that point, no one's doing Cinderella. No one's doing these shows that have a classic voice. So I'm like, well, shit, I don't belt like that. Then as I get older, I have this like kind of rock and roll belt, but
Mhm.
it's still not that high skrelting. I'm still never gonna sing Memory in the original key. I can sing it, but it's gonna have to be lower.
Yeah.
And so it's frustrating personally, but it is nice to see a sea change and that there are different styles getting into Broadway, as long as they are casting the people with the right voices. Because I don't want to hear some Leah Michelle do Jesus Christ Superstar. You know what I mean? I want to hear, who do I want to hear do Jesus Christ Superstar? They're doing it. Cynthia Erivo's.
Sophia Revo. I know. Have you heard the all-female Jesus Christ Superstar?
No, but I'm here for it.
Morgan James, who I first heard in the latest revival of Godspell. She did Turn Back, Oh Man.
Yeah.
She helmed an all-female Jesus Christ Superstar with Shoshana Bean, with Eden Espinosa's in it. Um, and Morgan plays Jesus.
Oh, fuck it.
It's a great Gethsemane. And it's on Spotify. It's online. I have to check it out. It's either called Jesus Christ Superstar, the all-female cast, or She is Risen.
Oh, I fucking love that. I love that.
Do it. Yeah.
And
So great. Hey, this is Victor Devon, and I like socks. I've always liked socks. In fact, I like socks so much that I don't match them because life is too short. Not because life is too short to find the other one that matches it, but because I want people to see how many socks I have. And I don't always take off my shoes. But when I take off my shoes, I want you to see at least 2 examples of the quality that I am drawn to. And that is why I shop at Foot Clothes. You can get 10% off your first order at footclothes.com and enjoy the luxury, style, and utter ridiculousness that is Foot Clothes. I encourage you to do so, and I want you to do it right now. And I want you to feel comfortable not having those socks match. Get into it. Feel right about it. Take pictures. Make some money off of it. I don't need to see it. You can send those the way that you need to. But you have fun out there. That's footclothes.com. Promo code Victor Devon, lowercase altogether.
Again, as someone whose voice doesn't necessarily meet the expectation of a female Broadway lead with this, high squelting and stuff, I am always leaning towards the male roles. Like I would
Mm.
play Roger in Rent. Love to
Oh,
play.
sure.
I would love to play Judas.
Judas is the best role in that show. I mean, I
It's
know he doesn't get Gethsemane, but he gets Heaven on Their Minds. And
he's
that I think is, well, it's not my favorite song from the show, but it is high on the list. My
it's
favorite song from the show is actually Pilot Stream.
oh yeah, dude, they're all so good. I did a performance of JCS, and I was just a soloist and in um the chorus, but we did a big production of that, and like when that first fucking music starts in,
Yeah,
like you just like, oh my God,
yeah.
you're in a
So
rock.
good. And that's a great overture too. That overture is one of the best. Yeah. My A dream role for me is Herod
Oh my God.
because it's a one scene wonder, which I live for. It's
Mhm.
late in the show. It's this close to an 11 o'clock number
Yeah,
for a co-star, and you bow fifth.
you're like, how's that?
Let's go.
Let's.
Maybe fourth if you're Alice Cooper. Like that to me, I feel is my like I trust me, I'd love to be fucking MC in Cabaret if I had that ability. I don't.
I would also
Um, but I
absolutely.
can be fucking Herod. Absolutely, I can.
That's yeah. Similar to Herod, another dream role would be the King in Hamilton, King George.
Sure,
I would
sure.
I do an act with his song, except I rewrote the lyrics to a parody, and it's "I'll be back and I'm dressed as Jesus." And I talk
Naturally.
coming obvious naturally, right? Coming.
Naturally. There's a few. I mean, Bertha in Pippin is another great one. She sings, I don't know if how familiar you are with Pippin, it's Stephen Schwartz. She comes out, she has one song. And it's not that it was Irene Ryan in the original Broadway, who most people would know from Beverly Hillbillies as Granny. Martha Ray, who is one of who I love, also did it for one of the taped recordings of it. It's she's out for 7.5 minutes,
Love it.
nails it, bows forth. I love it. Like
But
it's like done, done,
it,
done, done.
it's
And
so
depending on the production, she might have other stuff to do. Not Martha Ray. Martha Ray come out for the 7 minutes.
he's thanks. No, I I love that. I always okay. Obviously, there are lead roles I would love, right? Of course.
Oh, sure.
Bottom line, of course, there's roles that I'm going to be on stage the whole show. Great. But I always say that I'm a bad actor in that I do not feel the need to be on stage all the time. I do not feel the need to have a role or do a number that is huge or do a really long number or anything. I am the kind of person who likes to get out there. I like to hit you hard and fast and then get the fuck out. I don't want to overstay my welcome.
Mm.
I do that in my burlesque and I want that in my theater as well, which I don't do as much anymore. But if I do, like those are the roles that I want.
Yeah.
Like get to chill out for the first 45 minutes of the show, come in, do a super funny, good number, and then go chill out for the other 45. Like, fuck
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
My body hurts. I'm too old for all that other shit. Like just one number is great.
I think what it is I have the show off vibe gene in me. I am my father's child, but I'm also my mother's child, and so I have a great deal of uh, doubt and anxiety and stuff that doesn't push me far enough. I'm not as ambitious as I really wish I was, to be perfectly honest. If I really wish I could knock on doors just a little bit better. I really do. So I'm not that. And I think that's one of the reasons that I gravitate to the the broads, as it were. So again, I mentioned B. Arthur, I mentioned Elaine Stritch, these old Martha Ray. These are funny women, but one of the reasons that they are so powerful is because when they break your heart, they will fucking break your heart. And that to me, that's all I really want to do as Victor Devon is I want to go out there and I will break your fucking heart.
You're like, I want to cause trauma.
I do. I mean, I don't want to hurt you, but I want you to, I think that's one of the reasons that when I first started in 2006. Well, really, when I started doing stuff in 2007, 2006 was a little different. When I started hitting the ground harder, I would play against the clown white, and I would be, and I know we have a concept of a sad clown or we have a dramatic clown because the clown is an is a theatrical archetype, but for many of us, we assume that they're going to be light and fluffy or scary because we're in American terms. But there's such power in that juxtaposition, and I live for it. I love a sad showgirl too. I love it.
Well, the saddest showgirl. I had the pleasure of playing Sally Bowles when I was 20. So perfect age, there's no 20
Mm,
Sally Bowles out there on Broadway, which there should be because she is supposed to be just young and naive in the worst way and whatever. But
mm.
so yeah, so I got to play that, you know, perky, 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 and then gets hit with a fucking sledgehammer at the end, showgirl. And it had a huge impact on me and the way that I was directed to sing cabaret and then a few of the personal choices I made. I have never changed the way I sing that song because it is super powerful and you start it and I do it as a burlesque number every once in a while. And it starts out and the music is so happy and perky and everyone's like, fuck yeah, I love this song, cabaret. And then at the end I'm like, you know, distraught and I'm like shaking my fist and people are like, oh, that went somewhere, that this isn't, I'm not really happy anymore. And it's great. It feels so good, to turn the audience around like that. And
Yeah.
so
Well, that's a tough one too because that song on the surface obviously is joyful,
mhm,
and the power is in the juxtaposition. That's when I know that it's somewhat divisive, the film version with Liza, in that she's not, yes, she's reckoning, but she doesn't end that song a mess. She doesn't end with a growl the
yeah,
way that, say, the cast recording with Natasha Richardson
yeah.
ends. I saw that on Broadway in the original revival run with, who did I see? I saw Molly Ringwald, and another time I saw Susan Egan.
Oh,
Both
cool.
very different performances, very, very good. And they play it British because she's quote supposed to be, and obviously Liza, they Americanized her. Um, Holly for the best. But in both of those, at least in that revival, I don't know what they're doing right now. Um, she slams
Yes, she does.
the microphone down.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I saw the Alan Cumming, the original one, whenever that was 98,
Mm,
as well. And at the end of it, she slams down the microphone, and I was like, of course, I wish I could do that, but I'm like,
mm.
I don't want to mess up anyone's microphone. I have actually considered doing it with a face mic so that I can have a false microphone so that I can fucking. It's
Yeah.
like, it was so you're like, oh shit.
So good.
But
Yeah.
it, obviously the song surface level, the words are very happy,
Sure.
the melody is very happy, but like when you played the role you're going, oh, I just got slapped in the face
Hmm.
and had an abortion and like
And
who
the Nazis are coming. Yeah.
the not coming and this
Yeah.
man who I just left me, so like that's, you know what I mean.
I sold my fur coat.
My fur coat, I'm gonna miss that fur coat.
Oh.
Oh god, I told my Cliff, I was like, I said, you can slap me for real. And he was like, are you sure? Because he was a pretty big boy. And I was like, yeah, like fucking do it. I just said I sold my fur coat and I'm being super flippant about this abortion. I'm like, yeah, I slapped me and he he hit me and man, first of all, the audience gasped, which was what I wanted. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
well,
That's what I wanted. But I was icing my fucking jaw because I was like, oh, that was a mistake. It
uh,
it was great theater, but physically a mistake.
it's funny. Just to geek out with you for, my husband is he's better with musicals now, but he was not. That took some
Sure.
conditioning on
Yeah.
his part. And so he knows some stuff now, but he's not gonna be like, oh, let's go. There's some shows he really likes, but he likes them really usually for the storyline. Like he doesn't know any of the songs from Sweeney Todd, but he likes the story of Sweeney
It's
Todd.
creepy. I like it.
Yeah. So but I swear, when we saw Into the Woods, he's like, they're just singing about everything, aren't they? Like, yes,
Oh, they
darling, yes, they are. Yes, they really are.
sure are. Yeah,
And
I
we're only in Act One, just so you know.
oh, but I'm here with
But
him.
But with Cabaret, because that song is such a juxtaposition, or and invites the actor, it's kind of amazing that it's not a dark reprise, that there's not a upbeat version to begin with, in like the place of like Don't Tell Mama or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and then the dark reprise at the end.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird that that's not the way it is. In the same way that like there's variances of Don't Cry for Me Argentina over the
Right.
course.
Leitmotif.
Uh, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Uh,
I wonder,
yeah, I don't.
I mean,
Not that
yeah,
I need it, but I just think it's interesting that
no,
there's
that makes
not.
total sense. I wonder if it's just because I mean, Candor and Ebb, all of their background music kind of, it kind of sounds similar. So
Mm.
definitely get notes of, even in Vilkeman, you're getting, a little bit of the cabaret because you're getting
Oh,
that,
sure. Dun,
you know
dun,
what I
dun,
mean?
dun. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that
yeah.
maybe that's why they feel like they've already kind of hinted at it. But I do like what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Mm.
Hmm.
I almost feel like if there was another film version, that would make sense. But again, I'd hate to lose Mine Hair or Don't Tell Mama. I'd hate to, and I know that Mine Hair is not in the original structure.
Yeah.
Several songs have been cut and pasted in that show. Um, and I,
Yeah.
I find that to be I like a living play. I'm usually pretty happy with film adaptations too.
Oh, yeah, that depends. It
Oh,
definitely
sure, sure.
yeah, but it depends on the for sure. I mean, please, I don't want to talk about Rent. I can't. I can't. The minute they said Rent was not going to be R-rated and like I'm like nope. I'm done. I'm done. The minute they don't say fuck within the first like four lines, I'm done. I can't. And I know they brought the whole original cast back and I love that for them, but I just
Almost the whole.
almost the whole cast. Also
Yeah.
they were way too old at that point. Um, please no, don't get me started on Rent. But yes, there are other ones that
I think you kind of got started. I think you got it
you're gonna get me started.
right. I think the started happened. I think you got yourself started. Yeah, yeah,
See, like
yeah.
we're both like, hmm.
Well, that's the thing is I saw that twice in movie theaters when that film came out,
Same.
and I saw Les Miserables, the film version, 3 or 4 times in theaters because I had different people that I needed to see it with.
Hmm.
That's how that worked out. Maybe actually I may have only seen Les Miserables 3 times, I think, in theaters. And I found Les Miserables to be emotionally manipulative.
Pandery.
And well, and I didn't necessarily have that feeling going in, and I didn't have that feeling coming out. It took some analysis later, and I realized I don't want to listen to that score. I want to listen to the London or the Broadway recordings. I don't want to listen to the film recordings on almost any of them, any of
Mm.
the songs, because I don't like them. They're not pleasant to hear. Anne Hathaway does a fucking brilliant job, I feel, as Fantine, but I want to hear the song
You want to hear the
when I
note?
listen to, yeah.
Not
So I want to hear Randy Graff or Patti LuPone, um, personally.
yeah.
And So it's not something I can easily go back to. To that end, though, I mean, I'm cool with Meryl Streep in Into the Woods. I'm cool with Meryl Streep in Mamma Mia.
Oh, I love
I
Mama.
know that's I know that's a different type of show. And in Rent, I can actually listen to most of the film soundtrack happily.
Well,
But
it
the choices that it made the moment Anthony Rapp speaks December 24th, 9 p.m., I knew that we were going to be making some decisions.
yeah, and I do not approve of those decisions.
Yeah, they
I'm
were
a
the wrong ones. They were the wrong ones. And I think possibly coming off of the brilliance of Chicago with Rob Marshall, and I am one of the folks who really likes the film version of Nine, and I know that that's a divisive one for a lot of folks too. Also by Rob Marshall. Christopher Columbus was just the wrong person
yeah,
for that.
what an odd choice for that movie.
It just, yeah, it was the wrong one. Uh, and again, I saw it and I wept because naturally the material is so
Of
striking.
course.
But I recently saw Rent at a college, at my husband's college. Actually, he's in academia, and seeing actual 18, 19, 20-year olds
Oh,
playing those roles was such a gut punch. It
oh my,
was such a different experience than even watching 20 somethings on Broadway. Like it was so much more devastating. Uh, yeah.
yeah, the last time I saw
Mm.
um it was an entire cast of understudies and swings, and they were all so young. Like you're looking at the playbill, and it's their first thing out of college. It's you know what I mean. So many of them. This is their first show, their first tour, and yeah, they looked so young, and you're like, holy shit. Because when I got into it, I was 11, so
Yeah.
of course they looked. Everyone was a grown up. You
Yeah.
don't. You don't. It doesn't.
I grew up on 90210. Everyone looked 30.
Right. Everyone looks
Yeah.
old. But now
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, these are tiny babies and they're getting AIDS and dying and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that's why I like when you do get to see the characters at the age that they should be. Um, even like I was saying earlier about, Sally, like of course it's theater and you can do makeup and it doesn't matter as much from far away, but
It's
it's
a
like,
different character at 40, though.
yeah, but man, if you see,
Sally is an entirely different human being if you play her at 40.
yeah, because she's a little more, she's seen it before, she's seen it all. Whereas,
And she's hanging on. Like
yeah,
she's missed the boat, frankly.
right, we're at 18 or 19, 20, she thinks she's seen it all.
Right.
She really
Right.
fucking hasn't, and she's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make
It's
a
a
difference.
very different. Yeah. Yeah. And I think you kind of need that because also you need like that misplaced uh naivete to compare with Fraulein Schneider.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
dichotomy is
and
important.
that's actually one of my major reasons that I support a cabaret new film because I would actually like Fräulein Schneider to be a predominant character in the film at some point. Because she's reduced considerably in the Fosse film, and her songs are cut. So like, well,
What's Yeah, no, her song's
yeah,
so good. What would you do? Come on.
so good. So what? Classic. So
So
good. A pineapple. Ah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Ah.
And I know, I mean, that was choices too. I mean, but again, is Cabaret still, in my view, a perfect film? Yes, absolutely it is. But is it the only way one can do it? No. And that's why again, I am revival friendly. I am cover friendly. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
But I want it to be good.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. There's
And I
always,
want, I
did you
don't
like,
want,
what did you think about it?
I like Wicked. I like Wicked a lot. But I liked it on stage.
Mhm.
I saw it with Megan Hilty and Eden Espinosa
Oh, wow.
and Ben Vereen and Carol Kane.
Awesome.
Splendid. And it was a spectacle. It was a lot of fun. It I thought the filming of it made a lot of the scenes that I didn't quite connect with on the stage. Like I don't give a fuck about the most of the not shiz, the Emerald City stuff, One
Mhm.
Short Day stuff. They actually made that entertaining to me because I don't like that song. I skip it when I listen to the cast recordings. Um, but I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I'm very much looking forward to the conclusion.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it because
'Cause my favorite songs are in the conclusion.
I'm like you. I saw it and I enjoyed it, but I'm not a Wicked person. You know what I mean? I'm not like
Mm.
instantly start listening to the recording and become a fan. But I did enjoy it. I did cry at the end. Like I did think it was
Powerful performances.
yeah. But then yes, the movie definitely like it definitely hit the emotional things that I didn't get from the show, and I fucking bawled my eyes out at the end. And I know the next I'm already looking at the the commercials for the new one and going, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
for good is gonna ruin all of us.
I mean, and I as well it should.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you do.
I'm I'm really looking forward to No Good Deed. And they really sold me when they said they weren't cutting anything. Because again, I'm not precious necessarily. Nine is more than half the score, and I was still okay with it.
Mhm.
Um, Chicago really revised a whole bunch of stuff, obviously. Cabaret obviously revised a whole bunch of stuff. I would be into, I'm looking at, I have playbills around my wall, so I'm seeing some shows I've seen. So I have Evita. I like the Evita film. Les Miserables, I've already talked about. Little Night Music. I've yet to see the film version from the 70s with Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, me
Uh,
neither.
I've got to. Aida. I want an Aida film, but I want an all-black cast.
That would be stunning.
I don't think we need a show where Aida is black, Amneris is white, and Radames is white. I don't think we need that in today's age. I think we need an all-black cast for Aida.
That's I not
Yeah,
at all. And I oh my god, that show. Oh,
yeah.
I saw it with Jeremy Kushner, the tour, and it was just fantastic. Oh my God, I love that show. Yeah, I would love to see a movie of that. And of course, then we just have another Cynthia Erivo because I mean, of course she would play Aida.
Why not? Well, yeah, I think it's doable. I mean, or you know what? I would love to see her as Amneris.
Oh
I'd
yeah,
love to see her not as Aida. I'd love to see her as Amneris. I think that would be such an interesting choice, frankly.
yeah,
And I know they talked about making a movie out of it years and years ago. They talked about Beyonce and Christina Aguilera. Um, I'm okay that that didn't happen.
yeah. I'm all right.
Uh,
I'm okay with that.
um, yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm glancing at some of the others. See, Rent, Chicago, Cabaret, Boy from Oz, Spring Awakening. Spring Awakening would be interesting. It's another one though where they kind of have to be young.
Yeah, it's just not gonna. But I,
They kind of need 16-year-olds, and that's gonna be a hard sell.
yeah, that in this day and age, especially,
Yeah,
it's gonna
it's
be
gonna
awkward.
be a hard sell.
Yeah. I mean, it is, I suspended my belief with Wicked when I'm like, oh, they're all going to college? I'm like, these are all people in their mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
But like, whatever. I wasn't married to that idea. So I was like, ah, man, there's a master's program. I don't know.
That's just
Whatever.
it's a graduate. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And somehow
Yeah. Yeah.
but whatever. I will watch Jonathan Bailey dance through life all fucking day.
Oh, what an adorable human being.
Oh God. What a little cutie pie.
Yeah.
I was like, of course I thought he was attractive and whatever, but people were just losing their minds over him in this movie. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then I saw the movie and went, fuck.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I see it. I was like, that man could attract a plant. So I love that for him and us.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that Orville Peck is quite good as the MC
Ooh,
in
yeah.
Cabaret.
I'm very curious about that. And I heard that he's going to be doing a movie or another musical or something. So I'm like, okay, so he's coming out from behind the mask, I guess.
So to
Maybe.
speak, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool. I've been told Billy Porter is also very good. I know he's replacing him. He might be already in the
Oh, yeah.
role by the time this comes out, but yeah,
I want to play
yeah,
that's all. I want to play the MC next. Pretty much anything I've done, I'm like, okay, now I want to do all the boy roles. I want to be the boy.
sure. Well, that's very in right now. It's very interesting to gender flip, and intersectionality is really fascinating. I saw a black actor play Jean Valjean on stage, and that added a different weight to
Ooh,
that role that I
yeah.
thought was really interesting. Um, Things like that, I think is, yeah, I'm for it. I would have loved to have seen Jinx Monsoon just did Audrey, so to have a trans performer as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors or something
So,
like that. Like, what a genius idea. What a
yeah.
genius. I know she wasn't the first, but what a
You
genius idea.
know, from like it's great. It's just it adds, like you said, it adds layers, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because they're roles that we've seen a million times too.
Yeah, it
So
can like ugh, like why is a man here? Like another white man? No. White man, no.
yeah. Oh. Um, Thank you for geeking out with me.
Oh,
Before I let you go and either rest your voice or allow you to practice rehearse, are you a good practicer? Are you good? Are you disciplined in that regard?
actually, I'm absolutely terrible. Do as I say, not as I do. You should take care of your voice. You should warm up all the time. I've been much better lately because of this gig. I have to be. I don't have a choice. I wouldn't be able to get through it. So I have been nebulizing every day, been drinking my throat coat, using this Chinese cough syrup. Like I have been very, very good lately. But historically, no, my mom yells at me all the time. Why aren't you warming up? Why aren't you whatevering? And I'm like, I'm fine. And that's because I've done fine. But we're not getting any younger and we're pushing the voice. So no, but no, I'm terrible at it. But I'm gonna leave this right now actually and go take my meds and do some steaming and take care of myself. Yeah.
Very nice. Um, Tell the folks how they can keep in touch with all your goings on, including your regular performances.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the Sweet Siren on Instagram, and that is where I post pretty much everything all the time. I have my schedule on there. I post stories of all the performances. I am at the Cantina in Las Vegas on Paradise and Harmon every Friday and Saturday, 7 to 10 p.m. With my clothes on and singing for a few hours each night. And then I am in the first and fourth Monday burlesque at Phoenix Bar and on Sahara in Las Vegas, and that is the House of Glamour burlesque shows. So I'm there twice a month as well, and then just around town and around other towns. Of course, I travel all the time, so definitely just
Yeah.
follow my Instagram and come see me. Let's meet up in real life.
Yeah.
You like let's meet in real life eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was talking to Charlie about eventually, like, I was like, I've never performed in Vegas. And Pistol Holiday was like, "Oh, we'll get you there." I'm like, anytime. You let
Yep.
me know. You just let me know.
Yeah,
I'll drive. It's only 3.5 hours.
we'll talk after this. Absolutely. Come play with us. We'd love to have you.
Lovely. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being gracious with your time. I hope you continue to thrive, however that manifests. And folks at home, check out the footnotes. I'll include the links for the Sweet Sirens socials, as well as how you can support the pod via the Patreon or any other method. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sarah.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
We Burlesque the Podcast, created, developed, and edited by Victor Devon. Podcast artwork by Logan Laveau. We Burlesque the Podcast cover art photography by Atticus Stevenson. Theme song, On a 45 by This Way to the Egress, used with permission. All incidental music via Pixabay under the expectation of fair use. Please visit WeBurlesquePodcast.com for notes on this and every other episode. Follow We Burlesque and Victor Devon on just about every platform, and support the podcast via patreon.com/We Burlesque. Don't got the cash? Please follow, subscribe, and give 5 stars on every platform you can get your hands on. It really does help. All original material is owned by Victor Devon and White Elephant Burlesque Corporation. All other materials property of their respective copyright. No infringement, while likely, is intended. This episode and all episodes thereafter are in memory of Lucky Charming. Miss you, friend. And that's it.
Woohoo!
Tonight on Murder, She Wrote.
Hooray!
Hey.
Yeah.
It's kind of Piper Laurie and Brenda Vaccaro at A Love Child.
Thank goodness.
I want to know her.
Nails. Yeah, where's her series? That's what
She's
I want.
fabulous.
The son is Joaquin Phoenix.
I know, isn't that nuts? And he is an ugly little kid. I'm sorry.
We're just like, hey, remember when this guy was in this obscure Broadway show in 1976?
Right? Look at him in those tight pants. Yum.
Well, because there's not
But
a
we
lot
do
really
get-
going on. It's
Yeah.
supposed I mean, unless you're listening to the dialogue, which frankly, audience at home, you can do without us. We're just
Yeah, do
learning
your own
about
work,
some of these
damn it.
backstory. But
Right.
Boswell put her up to it.
Yeah.
And then Trish had to be killed because she realized that Boswell didn't have her interests at heart because Teddy was the inheritor.
Yeah.
Playing her like a fiddle.
Oswell knew it, and Trish just gulped it down like one of those martinis.
And then tossed it onto the lawn.
And then lost her head. Poor Trish.
Trish loses her head. This is Victor Devon.
And this is Petra Fried
And this is Tonight
on Murder, She Wrote.